Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the 1% Better podcast, and probably just trying to figure things out a little bit here because I'm recording audio for the intro to the actual show, but I'm also recording the intro on video, so doing a bit of both. I'll try not to make too many references for folks that can't actually see what I'm saying, but I haven't done an intro to the podcast for a while, so I decided to put this one together. This episode is 85 and it is with my guest Aodan Enright. So you might have checked out 1 Minute Monday earlier this week, on Monday in fact, and Aodan was my guest contributor for this week, and he gave out some very sound advice that I would encourage you to check out on the website and the video page or on social. It's been up since Monday. So just a few things to bring you up to speed on that's been happening over the last few weeks. One piece of feedback, or I suppose lots of feedback about one episode in the last month, has been the Isa Nasiwa show, and I was delighted to talk with Isa back about a month ago, and over the last few weeks, as I said, got lots of positive feedback. He came across like a really sound guy, which for the 15 or 20 minutes that I talked to him, he certainly seemed, and we've stayed in touch a little bit on email afterwards. So I would encourage folks to check that one out if you haven't already. It's interesting when you interview somebody, another set of potential guests open up, and I'm actually recording an episode this week with another person that's linked to New Zealand. He is a video analyst, or was a video analyst coach for the All Blacks for a number of years, worked with them during the last two World Cups. So looking forward to recording that. That's going to be an hour-long 1% Better show. That'll come in a few weeks. If you haven't checked out any of the other 864s, please do. I actually did a live recording in front of an audience a few weeks ago with Stephen Ryan from Cork, a marketing expert, and probably will release that one next week. Trying to do a 1% Better and an 864 alternate weeks at the moment. That seems to be the way things are happening. So that might come next week, and that was a goal for the year, to do at least one live audience recording. Up for more. It went really well. It was good fun, and I'd like to do definitely more. So if you know of anybody that we could talk with or record with, all ears to that. Right, so what else are we talking about? Last week's 1% Better episode was with the US crime reporter Melissa McCarthy, and she has a memoir out. We did that episode a few weeks back, but we also put it out on YouTube, and we recorded it live. So if you haven't checked it out, go back to the website. You can check out the video recording and also the podcast. Melissa was kind enough to give us a free copy of her book. It's an Audible book, and I did a draw for that just about 10 minutes ago. Random, obviously, no picking out names. And from my subscriber list, the winner was Aoife Conway. So congrats, Aoife. I have sent you an email with the code to download that. So happy listening to that over the weekend. What else have we got? If you didn't check out, which you mightn't have, on International Podcast Day on the 30th of September, I did a session around podcasting, learnings from the podcast journey, mainly focusing on kind of areas of softer skill development, emotional intelligence. That's up on the site now if you ever wanted to learn something about what you might actually improve on doing podcasting. I'd encourage you to do it. It's about 40 minutes long. During it, we had some broadband gremlins, which wasn't great when you're doing something live, but we recovered, and I think it went okay in the end. So I mentioned the 1 Minute Monday. Check that out, and I mentioned the 864 and some of the other 1% Better recordings coming up. I put it on Twitter earlier in the week that episode 100 has been close to being recorded. I have a few more recorded that I'll roll out over the next few weeks, but looking for some new guests, and it would be cool if I had some suggestions or recommendations of who I could try and hunt down, or maybe politely ask to come on to the show for episode 100. I guess it's a milestone. It's a good number, and we'll try and do something special for that, maybe. So keep the suggestions coming in, and I will see what we can do there. Not only about the 100 guests, but just in general, what's working well, what's maybe not. Do these video things work? I'll probably put this intro video out on Thursday or Friday. The episode is going to come out on Friday morning, so see if I put this out online before then. And yeah, we'll keep playing with stuff, and it's certainly a lot of fun doing it and getting more comfortable with it. It's a challenge. Get outside the comfort zone, as I say, and keep trying to do new stuff and get better, 1% obviously at a time. So my only real asks are for the feedback. Maybe if you're enjoying the podcasts, talk to some friends about it, put it out in your own network in the social world, follow on any of the social platforms to try and help me grow the reach, and as always, give me some ideas for guests or new questions or anything else that we could add. Okay, so rambling intro nearly done. This week is Aodan Enright week. As I was joking with Aodan, we had the 1 Minute Monday, and now we have the 1% Better podcast. He's somebody I definitely admire and really have enjoyed following online and reading some of his stuff. And he attended one of his seminars or one of his offsites earlier this year, learned a lot from him. He's in the coaching world, human performance, self-improvement. Lines up very nicely with the theme of the podcast, and we talk about a lot of that during the hour, as well as Aodan's background, where he's at now, and maybe where he's going to in the future. So okay, I'll leave it there, all in one take. Very proud of the 7 or so minutes that I've rambled on. So if you're watching, please go to the full podcast. It's on the usual places, and if you're listening, I'm going to stop talking, and now you're going to hear from me and Aodan. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Good luck.